Welcome to my stories Red channel. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, please like and share your comments. We make new videos with interesting stories every day. My wife of 10 years, been together for 16, was cheating on me for about 10 months. Want to give my full story here, so if anybody wants to give advice, they know the whole story. Me 31, and met my wife 31, F. in 2007 in high school. Everything was good for about 2 years. Then she cheated on me with another female when we were 18 years, mostly emotional. When this happened, she became a person I never knew she could be. She was really mean about it and left at my pain a lot. It was a terrible time in my life. About 2 months after that, she texted me one day to get back together and that she would never do that to me again. Next chapter in our life. She was remorse and said she was sorry about what she did. So we moved on and got an apartment together, and not long after that she got pregnant with our first child, my daughter. Everything was good for about 2 to 3 years, then one of the most horrible days of my life happened. I found on her phone that she had been talking with 2 to 3 guys over the phone, and the messages sexual things. One guy she met in person and had a physical affair with one time. Pretty much when I found out, she panicked and went into begging mode. Begged me to stay with her and we never do it again. Again, I was stupid and accepted her back. I will say this time I had to think about my 2 to 3-year-old daughter. I wanted us to stay a family and to work things out, and she seemed sorry about it and would never do it again. Now for the chapter in my life that is current. About a year after that, my wife got pregnant again with our 2nd child, my son. For about 6 years, everything was good and perfect in my eyes. But then my worst fears were met 2 weeks ago on August 29th, my day. I found out my wife was having an emotional and physical affair with one of her coworkers for about 10 months. When I look back on these 10 months, I see there were signs everywhere. I hate that so much. There was a moment in March she tried to leave me after an argument we had that wasn't that big of a deal. She wouldn't tell me why at the time or anything like that. She just kept saying she didn't want to keep hurting me and that we needed to think about getting separated. I now know it was because she was with this other man. Because of our past, and when I would notice odd things she was doing, I would tell her, please just tell me if anything is going on so we can move on with our lives. She would then lie to my face saying everything was okay and that we would spend the rest of our lives together. Now I need to say the way I found out about this. I saw her messages with him and I saw how they talked to each other. My wife was way into this, saying the most loving things possible to this other guy. Things she hasn't even said to me in a long time. Also need to let y'all know that the man she was with was also married, so he was also having an affair. The thing is, when I read the messages, I could tell that this guy was actually conflicted about doing what he was doing and didn't like the fact he was hurting his wife. Hardly saw that my wife at all. It was mostly just making sure he was okay and not much about feeling sorry about doing these horrible things to me. I now know there was a lot of fighting between them cause he was never ready to let his wife know about these things he has been doing. This upset my wife a lot, and over these 10 months even tried to stop the affair cause of it, but she always went back to him. It's sickening even typing this out right now, ugh. Okay, so everything is out of the bag on August 29th. So what happens? She wants a divorce, saying that we can reconcile anything cause of our past and that she just keeps hurting me. So horrible few days for me. She was 100 on this. We even tell our kids. They were devastated because they believed that they were in a loving, happy family. So by Wednesday of that week, so 2 days later, his wife also finds out. This is also the day my wife is leaving the house and going to stay with a friend. She is easily packing everything up and not really worrying about anything, but this guy cause hasn't been saying much to her cause his wife just found out and they are talking. She goes to work that day wondering what's going to happen. He shows up and pretty much tells her that he doesn't know's going to happen and him and his wife are still gonna be talking about things and what to do next. This of course upsets my wife and is mad that she has sacrificed everything for him and he won't make choice to be with her. She gets really upset about this and later tells me that she is crying hysterically. Meanwhile, I have already been doing this for less 2 days, but that didn't upset her that much at all. There was a bit, but not this much. So you can probably guess what happens next. She calls me that Wednesday night to come and talk. At first she is saying he lied to me this whole time and why could he not just tell her the truth. I felt like was there just to help her through the fact she couldn't be with him. Anyway, it eventually turned into that she realized she made this biggest mistake of her life and again went into begging mode. I will say this time it was real bad. She said she would do anything. Go to therapy and see what's wrong with her and why it keeps happening. She is being very remorseful and being completely honest about everything and trying really hard to make sure I'm always okay and to show me that she's gonna be a different person and change for the better. She is willing to go to marriage counseling, pretty much do everything she can to keep this relationship going. So I guess my question is, am I stupid for even thinking this woman will change? I can say this is the first time she is actually saying she wants to fix herself and wants to everything to show she loves me and wants to spend the rest of our lives together. I also want to say I haven't been the most perfect husband ever. I have never in my life done what she has done. I want to get that out, but I have said some mean things to her or maybe didn't show her enough attention or might have been disrespectful. And I am a stay-at-home dad. And for the last thing I want to say is that her reason she gives me for doing all this is it. She says she was always happy with me and there was nothing wrong with me at all and I was perfect. In my opinion, this is bullshit. There has to be a reason to do this kind of damage to our family. She just said it happened and if she could, she would take it back. There is my story. I want to adhere at the moment we are trying to reconcile the marriage. It's only been 2 weeks and it's the hardest thing I have ever had to deal with. I keep getting thoughts about them being together and all the lies she has told to my face. It just sucks so freaking bad. Comments. You beat me to this. Yup. I have my own problems in my marriage, so I'm not throwing stones. But buddy, if the other dude would have left his wife, you wouldn't have even been a consideration. Don't spend the rest of your life being second choice. Pretty much my thought, though I thought that 2 affairs back in his story. At this point, I just think he likes pain. Yeah, OP is settling as a second option at this point. Does he really want to stick it out with a woman who's only with him because she'd rather not be alone? OP, you need to decide if you are worth more than being a plan B in your marriage. Exactly. Why would she want to change? This behavior has been working for her so far. She knows she can do what she wants, fake a little remorse, and up will rug sweep everything.